This year we're leveling everything up because this is our return to a live opening ceremony performance post-pandemic world.
This is the most technically ambitious production that I've been a part of.
It is such an honor to be trusted to deliver something so special and big for our fans everywhere. It's also filled with a lot of pressure and stress to make sure that we get it right. Worlds really is a singular spectacle in culture. For us, with the opening ceremony, we know that this is our chance to plant a stake in the ground and say we are the future of sport and spectacle.
Every year, we look to really up the ante. We want to take what we've done in past ceremonies, what we know really delights the audience, and bring it all together to deliver an even bigger, better ceremony.
Last year, we went into Arcane, we went into Piltover and Zon. This year, we wanted to show what it meant to have the magic of Runeterra and League of Legends fuse into this reality in many surprising, dangerous, and wonderful ways.
It's our first year back in an arena since 2020, and arenas are my favorite way to present the sport. This year's opening ceremony is a 270-degree in the round, very ambitious journey through the season of League of Legends. We open with the call, which is the season start cinematic and tells the story of the beginning of the competitive season. We move into Neon Strata, which is the Empyrean skin line, and a really exciting journey through Color and Pike sort of taking over the environment. And then we conclude with this year's Anthem, starring Lil Nas X.
When we were creating the anthem, we knew we wanted a North American voice on it since this is a North America Worlds. And we instantly started looking to iconic one and only performers within NA. Lil Nas X was the top of the list, if not the list for us. So we were so excited when he was enthusiastic about working with us and jumped in headfirst.
As president of League, I want to make the greatest Worlds anthem of all time.
We always aim to take our world finals to an iconic city in whatever region that we're in. The San Francisco, of course, fits that bill.
When we think about physically putting the show into San Francisco, the build in and of itself is easily our most ambitious. There's 450,000 plus pounds of kit that's being put in the air. We have 5 times the amount of projectors that we had in the 2019 show. They have to turn off and on in a split second because we can never have inside and outside projecting on the same piece, just as one example of how complicated and how challenging this is. We've had a pre-rig day. The venue is going to work around the clock for the first 96 hours that we have it. Between traveling crew and local support and performers and everyone else from end to end, I mean, this is probably a 2,000 person deep production. With that ambition comes a lot of technical requirements, and it's been a pretty challenging process to work through everything.
The HoloNet this year is massive. In 2019, we had really wide HoloNet panels. This year, we've got 3 very tall vertical panels. And a big influence for that was how the champions in the music video are these giant mechs that are taking over San Francisco. We wanted a way to bring the scale of that physically into the room with our performers and to show that these champions are larger than life.
Seeing our favorite champions brought to life on stage is the best. It's like the thing that you dream of as a League fan.
This year for the opening ceremony, we have 6 champions that we're highlighting, and we really wanted to do a deep dive to understand everything possible about their abilities, the lore behind all of the stories surrounding them, and find the bits and pieces that we could hold on to and bring into our reality. An example of this is Pike and his bone skewer move. So what we wanted to show from this was the theatrical way that Pike pulls people closer to him without using too much extra technology and instead using physical people on stage.
One of the biggest challenges we have is that all of the magic comes from the HoloNet. If the choreography and the HoloNet content don't match up, those moments mean nothing to our fans. And we won't know until we're in Chase Center if we've mapped those moments together properly.
The pressure to create something for League of Legends is immense due to how many eyes are on this opening ceremony. We've had tons of previs, remote, me and my choreography team just planning together what style we're gonna do when and just talking over Zoom for weeks. And then we only had 3 days with the dancers in the room to just give them all the steps, cross our fingers, and then we have 3 days of production rehearsals with lights, technology, playback, time code, cameras, director, everyone's here, and we're trying to marry their own worlds. And then we're only in San Francisco on the stage for another 2-3 days, and then it's showtime, baby.
Who's smiling?
Was that the first time you watched the full thing?
Full thing hard out from top till there.
Yeah.
And it gave me chills.
One of the difficulties this year was the fact that we discovered Neon Strata as the centerpiece of the show pretty late in the game. It wasn't until July that we really started working with Riot Music to create a track. We're in talks with 88 Rising about this track, and we assumed that maybe some of their up-and-coming artists would be interested in working with us on it. But they instantly said, Jackson wants this one, and my heart skipped a beat.
When I first found out I was working with Jackson Wang, I knew I had to step my game up. We built out a choreography section in the end of Act 2 to just be with the dancers. And it's this insane drum beat with this crazy guitar solo ending Jackson's moment. Today in rehearsal, Jackson was like, wait, I want to do that. And he learned it in 20 seconds, and now he's fully in the dance breakdown. And the fact that he just threw himself in it was like so awesome. So you're here. Mm-hmm. Boom, go. Yes, like I want to make this.
Let you push.
Let me lead. I know you're not used to that.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
You caught that on camera.
Not used to it.
The challenges of pulling off a 360 performance were extremely high because as a choreographer and dancers, we're so used to having a front and a back. But now there's no off stage. Right when that music starts and right when that music ends, they're on stage the entire time, no matter which way they're facing. Everything is meticulously choreographed every single second and every single frame because all eyes are on them the entire time.
So while the rehearsals have been hugely beneficial and had a great impact on our prep, we did have to make some trade-offs coming in. In addition to planning the show, we actually had to have a separate plan for the rehearsal that was an adaptation of the show. And once you build that plan, you have to make sure that people don't confuse it for the show, because when we get back in San Francisco, you don't want people performing the rehearsal. You want them performing the show.
We are in the Chase Center. The stage has been built. I feel like the stress is really starting to set in. In LA, we had the illusion of time. It felt like we could get everything dialed in, but now that illusion has been shattered because the clock is ticking.
Biggest challenge of the day is that there's so many different components to the show that if one thing goes slowly, that has a knock-on effect on everything else.
Today, we had always planned on working through each act of the opening ceremony. We started with Neon Strata this morning with Jackson. The timing is really, really tight. I think our review is we know everything that we need to fix, but I wouldn't say we necessarily saw it work. So that means we'll be working through notes pretty late tonight.
Bone Skewer is one of those things where sometimes I wish we weren't so ambitious. I wish we could just give ourselves the easy out, but we don't. With Bone Skewer, we tried a few different ways to get it right in LA. A few different choreographs, a few different movement ways. We had to switch it up. We basically flipped the choreography so that Jackson is on the receiving end of the skewer now, aided by some trickers who are helping him hold a pose. I think it's landing now, but this one has been so tricky.
After Neon Strata, we then dove into our anthem performance. Great to have Lil Nas X in the building. Got him on stage, showed him the fly moment where he's gonna be riding up the lift to about 12, 13 feet above the stage.
Telling Lil Nas X that we were gonna hoist him in the air in the hand of a giant mech went over way better than I ever could have imagined.
So there's absolute zero chance that this would ever fall, right?
Correct. And also,
You didn't say anything.
he'll tell you, he's the guy. I'm the guy.
I could piss in my pants. Oh, that's the least supported I've ever felt in my life. Even by family members and stuff.
It's really powerful to see his 8 core dancers along with the 30 dancers that are supporting the show. We're in a place where we've bought all the ingredients, but we haven't necessarily cooked a meal yet. I'm really eager, I think, for a taste test, which might not happen until tomorrow morning.
One of the moments I'm most excited for is this year we aren't waiting until the end to introduce our pro players. Within the first 30 seconds of the call, the Jumbotron raises up and we find our 2 finalist teams right there on stage.
We treat the Jumbotron as absolutely sacred. How we position it, where we position it, and why we position it is a subject of hours and hours of conversation. This year, what we wanted to do was find a way to really bring this sacred canvas into the story of the opening ceremony. And a really easy way of doing that is breaking the formula of what they've seen at any of our shows before. Taking on any project with this kind of scale and appetite, creative or otherwise, can be scary. There is a lot of pressure just to chase big ideas. Then you magnify that pressure with the realization that you're doing this live. And for all of your prep, you only get one at bat.
It is 2 days before the opening ceremony. We just found out that our opening performer won't be able to even get in the country, so he will not be here to be a part of the show, and we're basically just in crisis solving mode now.
It's a really good lesson in not being too precious, because with live entertainment, things change every day. It's the nature of it being live. It'll be a tense time, but we will get there.
One stumble could break the bone skewer. One late camera cut could cause us to miss a moment. But we put in all of this prep work because you can engineer opportunity, but you can't manufacture result. But that space is why this is a lot of fun.
We are about 15 minutes to show. I am feeling very nervous. I have all sorts of butterflies in my stomach, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Well, the thing is, today we see it with an audience in the room, and that changes everything.